One and all, hope you're doing well. Risk sentiment overview for the Friday, the 5th of the 8th, 2022. Now the risk calculation is on the 24-hour change. That it's saying that they're shorting the indices, which would be normal. VIX is being crushed, and now we're minus 7.3. So for every one person buying, there's 7.3 people trying to sell. And that number will increase as long as they're adding to their bearish bets. Now, interestingly, if you're new to the Quasidb service system, we don't really seem to get beyond minus 20, right? And that's like the squeeze, and then they give up, and inevitably the bears get destroyed. Round about minus 18, minus 20. So we can go back there, but if we do, then we'll be all-time high, okay? And that's going to really destroy the bears. So just bear in mind that we are risk on here, and the VIX is being crushed, and unfortunately the retail guys are trapped, but it's their fault for not knowing about sentiment. Yes, it's not particularly risk off. The yields fell, so that's not too bad. If they rise, it tells us there's fear and worry, but if they fall, it's like saying, oh, okay, maybe things aren't too bad. So that's not particularly too risk off, to be honest. The Fed's year rose, but that's fine. It's only a tiny increment. So we're still totally out of bonk on the yield curve, so that's still an issue. So how are we looking? Germany 30, well, we know why they shorted it. It's because of the gas pipeline issue. So that's the logic there. They're reading their fundamentals, so they're losing money. Euro pound is a sell. So it's worth noting that, because I just made a video in Discord about the euro pound. So FXEM and my FX book are at opposite ends. Okay, so be advised on that. Dollar CAD to buy. It's interesting. Dollar Swiss is a sell, and you just want to look at dark colours, and dark colours to match. Okay, and that's that. So we had a big turnaround in the Kiwi, but we saw that yesterday. We saw them short the Kiwi, and so that's that logic. And Aussie is lagging and Kiwi is leading. Right, so Aussie Kiwi currency pair is going to be interesting, and the New Zealand dollar got absolutely punished by the Australian dollar for so long, so it could be a reversal on that particular pair. That would have squeezed so many people, big fish as well probably, so maybe look for a reversal on that. We can potentially look at that next week. Actually, we'll have a look at that next week, I think. Average bubble, so the QDP subs have to check the intraday trade ideas, so that's what you guys are going to do. If you want to see the bubbles, you can go to patreon.com and just subscribe. If you do the Bulletin tier, you can access the the trade idea of the day. If you go for basic, you'll get access to Discord. If you go for premium, you get Discord and the spreadsheet, so you can see the bubbles. Right, so there's 3 tiers there. But for free, and for YouTube, then this is locked, obviously, so you have to subscribe. That's how we look now. So whether or not they increase or decrease, we don't know. We have to get the trading station to see. And pound yen was flip-flopping, if you remember me saying yesterday. So a lot of indecision on that pair, but we had BOE as well, and very choppy. And so S&P, right, so we made a buy, they shorted it, so we've got our levels, and so that's that. Whether or not they continue to sell it, we don't know, but they probably should, they probably will. So we had a sell on the US 30, and they went long, so price fell to punish them, and so they shorted it, so price comes up every single time. See how they sold it here, up we come. So we want to use this conjunction of the SSI line and the 21 moving average. Is absolutely amazing. And Germany 30 or 40, shall I say? It's making a risky sell. Why is it risky? Because at a high level it's a buy. Okay, so we want to know if it's a risky buy or not so risky buy. So this is a risky sell, because at the high level it should be buy the dips. However, if they're buying the dips, we want to do the opposite. Okay, so a little bit of counter logic there, but hopefully that's clear. Like, for example, gold is a sell at a high level, hence the colour. And if they go one particular way, and then it bucks the trend. So we've got a sell coming up, which would be a non-risky sell, because at a high level it's a sell. All right, so hopefully that's not too confusing. So here was a risky buy. It's risky because at the high level it's a sell, but on the dynamic, this time component here, this time flow, the dumb money flow, it was a buy. So it was a risky buy, but it panned out. Okay, so sometimes the risky buys are quite profitable. All right, so you can look at things at a static level. Where are we according to long-short ratios, and that's good. But the dynamic flow is more powerful, as we can see, because if you were just looking at static, you probably would have sold gold thinking, oh look, they're really skewed. But you have to look at the movement across time, right? And there's the movement here. We caught that move up we come, and I was saying we were going to come up to get the SLC, and we did, right? So hopefully that's not too clear. It's static and dynamic. You need to understand the two. There's two components to sentiment analysis. Where we are now, where are we headed, right? So we have to think in the future, and this is like that's forecasting a future move. Was that cross, right? So that's that. Hopefully I didn't confuse you then. But if you've got any questions, you can ask me. I'm completely contactable, even on weekends. Just let me know if you've got any questions. So we want colours to match. So EA isn't, EU isn't, GU isn't, and NU isn't. But however, EJ, GJ are, and dollar CAD and dollar Swiss are. Okay, so ideally we want colours to match, basically. And the largest stop loss cluster is AU, and the position has remained the same. It's at the same place from yesterday, but however the size has got smaller. All right, it's 3.5% in size yesterday. So that's that. So we can still potentially target this, but however, we know that we're risk on. So the AU stop loss cluster is probably going to be safe, right? Because we look at the risk out. This is the big picture, and that tells us where FX is going to go and where indices are going to go. So this is like pretty important that you understand the risk on, risk off, and the big picture. So that means that the AU stop loss cluster below is probably going to be safe, because of the fundamentals, right? So you have to remember that. And just to know, you probably have seen this video already, but after the 1st of September, the Quasidb code goes to 10% discount. So it's going to cost you $31 a month. If you get the yearly plan on that code, it's going to cost you $10. So it's a huge saving, and you're locked in for a year at that price. So I would do that. Well, I'm totally going to do that. Obviously, it'd be crazy if I didn't. And so I would do that if I were you, but it's completely up to you. You might want to spend $31 a month, or you want to spend $10. It's completely up to you. So they're getting destroyed, and we can check maybe. We could just quickly check. Just load it, and we'll have a look now. It's going to take a bit of time to load. Hopefully not too long. And we go to the failure rate. So how are we looking now? 38, so it's improving. So the trap has been placed, and they're going to get punished. And you'll see this number increase, right? And to give it 2 hours time, these guys are going to be getting squished. So do be aware of the sentiment. It's really, really important. So we can see how far we've come. We were 22 an hour ago, and we're 38. So give it a couple of hours, and these guys are going to be trapped again, and they're going to be squashed. Right, so be aware of that. And if you want to get access, just let me know. I would personally wait for this to get over 50%, ideally 60%, and the trap's fully in, and what's going to happen is that they're going to hold on to their losses. So they won't exit and reverse, they'll rather hold on to their losses, and then they're going to add to that loss, right? So that's a potential scenario that the retail guys normally do, and they normally get punished at 70 or 80% probability. So this is a big payday, so it's just allowing them to have a little bit of profit, and to encourage them that maybe FX trading isn't too bad. And what's going to happen is they're going to pull the carrot away, and they're going to go, oh, where's all my profits gone? And that's what happens. So very cruel. We had a 7 pip loss yesterday. AU didn't really do anything. NU went up and then down, and it closed due to the sentiment. And The worst trade was the dollar Swiss at 13 pip plus, so fairly manageable. But we have a minor negative week this week, but we have had a lot of chop and indecision, especially after that GDP miss, which means that we're in recession. So technically, we're going to be under a lot of uncertainty as well on the FX. So how are we looking? EU is a sell. Summary, we're just interested in summary, so buy on the EU. GU is neutral. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a box around this. That's going to be quite handy. That's what I'll do. I'll do that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do boxes to make it a bit easier to see. I'll do that after this video. So that's what I'll do, and so you can just see, just look at your summary on the daily, and this is the daily, hourly H4. Daily something 5 minutes, 15 minutes, hourly, daily, right? Okay, so we're only interested in daily. Okay. Economic calendar, well, we know about NFP, and we've got CAD data out as well, which is kind of frustrating if you're trading the dollar CAD. It's going to bounce around a lot, so be careful and always trade safely. Discord link, join us, and if you were interested in joining us but you're on a budget, I can offer the Bulletin access, and I might throw in a free channel. If you're nice, then I'll just do that. I'll just simply tick an additional checkbox, and you can get access to maybe something else of interest in Discord. So if you are on a budget, you can do the Bulletin tier, and it's only $10 a month, and then you get access to the access to this. Where are we? This. So have a great weekend. Be careful. Quasidb subs, keep an eye on that level that I told you on the euro pound, and just be careful and trade safely. Know your exits as well, and there's no harm in having a minor loss. Better to have a small loss than a medium or large loss, and then that can chew you up psychologically. I was supposed to do a trading psychology video, but I'm going to prepare for that over the weekend, and I'm going to get some notes gathered up, and then I'll make that video. It's about how to deal with losses, because it's part of trading. We have to accept the small losses. Okay, so have a great one, and I'll speak to you on Monday.